Right guys, welcome to the channel. Here is the planet of Sidon 4, which is a small moon near the planet of Crisis where the House Crest Knights reside. And the Eldar, Dark Eldar forces are looking to grab this, the Ferramortis Gabalis. So the mission is the relic, and what happens and who holds the relic at the end of this mission is going to determine the next mission, hopefully. So I'm playing on an 8x4 table. It's going to be Dawn of War deployment. It's going to be big, it's going to be brutal, and there's going to be a lot of death. So now let's take you through the armies. Right guys, so here we go, 4,500 points. The alliance between the Craft World, Altanzar, and the Cabal of the Violet Sun. So leading the Cabal of the Violet Sun, we have Drask Skythorn, the Archon. He has a webway portal, haywire grenades, and a shadow field. And he is leading 2 units of 10 Cabalite warriors. Each unit of 10 has a splinter cannon, riding in 2 dedicated transports of raiders with night shields and splinter racks. He has a personal raider purchased as a fast attack choice with night shields, and there's another fast attack raider that he has purchased for Shadowseer Kalia, again as a fast attack. The rest of the fast attack, we have 5 Scourge with 4 haywire blasters, and we have 2 units of Reavers, 3 at the front here, 1 of them running a cluster caltrop, and 6 at the back, 2 of them running cluster caltrops. And the final fast attack slot is a Razorwing. It's got 2 Necrotoxin and 2 Monocythe missiles, and it does have the splinter cannon upgrade on the front. For heavy support, we've got the Forge World Reaper with night shields, and a Ravager with 3 Dark Lancers, and again with night shields. We then have a small Coven detachment of the Scalper Squadron. We've got 2 Venoms here, along with 2 squads of 5 racks. Each squad of rack has an Ossifactor. We've then got the Archon's Council, Shadowseer Kalia. She has the Neuro Disruptor. She has haywire grenades. She's Mastery level 2, and she has the Mask of Secrets. She is escorted by her consort and executioner, the Deathjaster Mortifax, and somebody is tagging along with a Segrax Rose. The Eldar portion of the list is led by Autarch Maldrath Starbane. As you can see, he is Prince Uriel's model. He does use Prince Uriel's rules, but obviously he's from Craftworld Altanzar. We have the Farseer Alwyn Zantu running the Windrider host. So we've got a single Warlock with a Singing Spear. Farseer also has a Singing Spear and Spirit Stone of Anathalan. We've got 3 Windriders with Sheraton Cannons, 3 more with Sheraton Cannons, and 3 with Catapults, as I actually didn't have the points left over. We've got 3 3 Vipers running dual Sheraton Cannons and Hollow Fields. We then have over this side an Aspect Warhost. We've got 5 Dark Reapers with an Exarch running the Strength 8 and Strength 5 missiles. We've got 6 Dragons with an Exarch and 5 Spiders. They are going to elect to take +1 ballistic skill. They have, the Dragons and the Spiders each have a dedicated transport of a Wave Serpent, upgraded with Spirit Stones, Hollow Fields, Twin-Link Bright Lance, and a Sheraton Cannon underneath. We then have a Wraith construct of a Hemlock Wraith Fighter, and then we have a Wraith host. So we've got the Shadowseer, we've got 1 squad of Wraith with heavy Wraith cannons, we've then got a squad of Wraith with the D-sides, we've then got a squad of Wraith with axes. The Wraith Lord is running 2 Flamers and 2 Bright Lancers, and then we have Binky the Wraith Knight. He's running dual Sheraton cannons and Ghost Glaive and Shield. So psychic powers. Here the Shadow Seer has Conceal, Reveal, Protect, Jinx and Quicken Restrain. The Hemlock, I just took the two Primaris from Telepathy and Runes of Battle, so he's got Conceal, Reveal and Psychic Shriek. The Farseer has Guide, Doom, Will of Azurian, and something I'm looking forward to, Eldritch Storm, and he can harness the big one on 3 due to the Spirit Stone of Anathalan. We then have the Shadow Seer, who has Veil of Tears, Shards of Light and Laugh of Sorrows. I was hoping for Mirror of Minds, but never mind. The Warlord is of course going to be the Archon. So we'll now take you through the Mechanicum fort. Right, so here we go, 4,500 points of Knights and Mechanicum. We've got the Magus Prime Requisitioner Potentia, and we've got the Knight Baroness Kalessa. Josh, do you want to talk us through what's in it?
I can do. We have Magus Prime, just usual upgrades, Myrmidax, 2 Plasma Fusils, Paragon Blade, Jetpack, 4 Oculars, Cyber Familiar.
And an Augury Scanner.
He does have an Augury Scanner, is the interesting one this time.
So,
Interceptor Bubble.
Yay, nice.
He is with 4 Thalax, who all have Chain Blades.
Yes.
I have 2 more units of 3 files with a Photon Thruster.
Yep.
Also in troops, I have 2 Darkfire Castellax and a Paragon Bolter Castellax over here.
Yep. Have they all got enhanced target arrays?
They have. The other HQ is Magus Dominus, just another Augury Scanner and a Conversion Beamer. Should be interesting.
Yep.
Moving into fast attack, I have a unit of Ursarax and an Avenger. Las Cannons, Tank Hunter, Auto Cannons. Very nasty.
And they've got Power Fists.
They do have Power Fists, not Lightning Claws.
Nice.
Moving on to heavy support, we have a Thanatar Siege Automata.
Enhanced target array?
Enhanced targeting array, of course.
Yep.
And 2 Mechanicum Land Raiders. Both have Ceramite Plating, Dozer Blade, Twin Link Phase Plasma Fusel. Differences are 1 set of Flamestorm Cannons and 1 set of Quad Heavy Bolters.
Yep. Obviously I don't have any Mechanicum Land Raiders, so we are using the Blood Angels ones. That is proxied as the Quad Heavy Bolters.
Moving into Elites, I have 2 units of 3 Myrmidons. I have 2 with double Graviton guns with a guy with double Volkite charges. I know they're Mats and Bolters, but Volkites are better. I then have another 2 with dual Plasma Fusils and another one with double Volkites.
Yep.
This is Tagmata Messiah army list taken from Horus Heresy Book 3.
Yep.
Moving into a Questoris Knight army list taken from Horus Heresy Book 4, I have a Sensual Styrex.
What weapons has she got?
She has just Reap Chainsword, a Volkite something I can't say, which is quite nice.
Let's say Chevrolet,
Yeah, Chevrolet works. Strength 8, AP3, 5 shots, definitely great, so Bane of Wraith, hopefully. Then have 2 Skirm Marshals with lightning cannons, just stand 7 AP3, shred, rending, large blast, very nice.
So the big
chainswords.
The big brother to the Thalax gun.
Yep, very much so.
Yep.
And in heavy support, I have a Errant with another rank I can't pronounce. It just gives him Tank Hunter on that lovely thermal cannon.
No problem. What shoulder mounted guns have they got?
All have heavy stubbers apart from the Warlord.
Yep.
That one is a Plasma Fusel. The heavy support one also has poison on said heavy stubber because I had 5 points spare.
No problem. So let's now go through deployment. Welcome back after deployment. Josh has elected to deploy first. He won the roll-off. Just a quick couple of notes though. As you can appreciate, we did make some mistakes going over the army. This guy actually has a Plasma Fusel shoulder-mounted gun. This guy is fine. She has a Graviton gun and he has a Plasma Fusel. Josh's Warlord trait is to reroll to hits of a 1
12 inches of him.
within 12 inches of him.
So,
Yeah. So we've got Castellax there with the bolt cannon, the Warlord, and some Thalax under there. With the Ocularis, we've got the Thalax straight behind, the Ursarax, both their Land Raiders with the Myrmidons in. Over this side we've got the Thanatar and another Knight. Is there another Castellax in the ruins, I see?
Castellax down there, Thalax underneath there, Castellax over here, Final Knight up there, Dominus in the middle.
Yep, my counter deployment. 6 Reavers, 2 squads of 3 jet bikes, 1 with shuriken cannons, 1 with catapults, 1 squad of Reavers, Dark Reapers, and then here we've got the Ravager and the Reaper. Spiders stand out in the open because they're brave and stupid. The Vipers just hugging some cover for the moment. Not that I'm going to have much. 1 Wave Serpent, 2 Wave Serpents, Flame of Wraith. These guys here, the Wraith Cannons, the Farseer, and I forgot to mention the Warlock. The Warlock's power is protection. The Shadow Seer is in this raider here. We've got the Blades with the Spirit Seer. The other squad of bikes with shuriken cannons, and the Wraith Knight and Lord in the flank. So reserves, I've got both my flyers. I've got 2 raiders full of warriors. I've got the Archon, the Autarch, and the Fire Dragons in this raider with the Webway portal. I've got the Scalper Squadron, and I still need to infiltrate the Solitaire and the Death Jester. Right, so in reserves for the Mechanicum, we've got the Avenger, Infiltrators, the Solitaire's moved up to here, and the Death Jester's keeping out of line of sight down here. So, do I seize? No. Right, so movement for Mechanicum, just a quick note as well, it is also night fighting turn 1. So this Knight has pulled forward, probably looking to drop its nice template down over here. We've got the Thalax pushing forward. Thanatar, has the Thanatar moved forward?
It has.
It has, ooh, okay. So the Land Raider and this Knight pushing forward. Both of them, the Land Raiders, passed the difficult terrain test with the Dozer Blades. Ursarax hiding out of the way, waiting to strike. All the Thalax with the Warlord pushed forward at this side with the Castellax as well, and the 2 Knights charging straight up the centre. Josh has got a lot of heavy armour, looking to hold the relic, and I'm expecting a bloody shooting phase. Let's see what happens. Right, so we knew it was going to be brutal. This guy shot the Large Blast Shred template down, killed 1 of the Reavers, and managed to also take out 1 of the Eldar jet bikes. The Eldar then failed their leadership check and ran off the board. Right, so that Castellax there shot all the way through here, didn't do any damage to the Wave Serpent here. The Castellax there shot down here and blew up 1 of the Vipers. The Knight and the Thalax, the Thanatar that was just within range with the 24 jump moving, dropped the templates on the Reavers. They lost 2 of the number due to jinking with a 2-up cover, and unfortunately failed the leadership and ran off the board. The Phased Plasma Fusel from the Land Raider here shot at the Warp Spiders, and they've jumped forward, getting some cover out of line of sight. The Land Raider here flat out just to get behind the Knight on this side. Requisition their Potentia, shot down at this Wave Serpent here, but unfortunately didn't get any glances. One thing that did come in though was the Graviton gun from the Baroness. She managed to cause a single glance on it. It's still not jinking, however, and between the 2 Knights managed to strip the entire Wraith squad down to the ground. These guys took fire from the Knight as well, but only the front one took a wound and managed to pass his 4 cover save. The Wraith here also took fire from the Castellax that's over here, and managed to pass their invuln as well. So it's been brutal, it's been absolutely bloody, but Josh has got some jetpack moves to make. Right, so these Thalax have jetpack moved just outside the ruins. These guys pushing forward as well, and this Ocularis got a 10-inch jetpack move past his dangerous terrain. The Warlord's unit is also pushing forward along with the rest of the Ocularis. So Now go on to Dark Eldar and Eldar turn 1. Right, so movement phase. The scalpel squadron have come in. One landed up here, unfortunately did scatter, but he rolled and passed his dangerous terrain. This one scattered slightly to here as well. The Vipers have pushed forward, looking to get some shots in over this way. The Reavers, for lack of anything else to do, they're just hiding out the way for the moment, and the Ravager and the Reaper pulling just to the side, get some shots in. The Spiders got a 6-inch move through cover, looking probably to shoot over this way. And these Bikers just hanging back for the moment, picking the targets wisely. The Solitaire is going to be within charge distance of the Knight next turn, so he has pulled back because he can't assault this turn. The Wave Serpent looking to get some shots maybe at the side of the Knight there. The Scythe, Wraith Guard, hopefully going to be able to get within range of these. This Serpent has stayed where it is, and the Farseer is pulled sideways, looking for Eldritch Storm right in the centre. The Wraith Guard and the Lord have pushed forward at this side, and the Shadow Seer has jumped up here past the dangerous terrain test. The Wraith Knight, I wouldn't have been within distance to be able to charge either of these this turn, so he's come around this way just for the moment, biding his time. The Bikers here, looking to hopefully take the flank and start piling in from the side. So that's it for movement. I've got quite a big psychic phase coming. Right, so psychic phase wasn't too good. We did cast guide on the Wraith Lord here, but unfortunately I failed. The Shadow Seer then tried to cast Laugh of Sorrows on the Warlord's unit, but unfortunately didn't get that off on 3 dice. And then I chucked my last 5 dice into Eldritch Storm, going for the big one, and I got it off 4 times with my reroll, didn't double out, and it landed right here. So there's a whole point gone from each of the knights, and I managed to get 3 wounds on the unit there. So each of the Thalax is down to 2 wounds. Josh failed his feel no pain, unfortunately. So we'll now move on to shooting. Right, so Eldar shooting phase has been pretty brutal in exchange to the fire coming in from the Mechanicum. This Knight took 2 hull points from the Dark Lancers here. We got 3 hits, 1 glance and a pen. Josh failed 2 of his saves, unfortunately, but didn't get an explodes result. The Reaper fired through over here with a blast template, managed to get a single hull point against the Knight, but he passed his invuln save from the front, and the Land Raider I rolled a 1 with the Haywire template. The Thanatar was dragged down by fire from the Warp Spiders. I managed to get a couple of 6s, and I declared me Shred rule for the Windrider horse, so that these guys needed 6s re-rolling against the Thanatar to drop him down to his invuln save only, and he was brought down. The Dominus here was brought down by fire from this Venom, and he lost 1 wound to that, and the Death Jester lowered his Shriek with cannon straight through the skull of the Dominus. These guys here took wounds from the poison shots coming in from the Venom as well. These have flat outed up to here, and it means that the Castellax are now going to have to shoot at them, as they are the nearest enemy within 12 inches. Over this side, managed to get a single glance on this Knight, side armour with the Sheraton cannon. The lance unfortunately failed to go through. The lance on this failed to damage the Baroness, but these guys managed to battle focus, and each of the Flamer templates managed to get 5 hits against each of them. And unfortunately I rolled quite a lot of 1 and 2s. One of them did manage to go through after he'd lost a whole point from the Eldritch Storm earlier in the game, and managed to get an explodes result and bring him down. There was a big, which was it the middle explosion? No, we rolled a 1, so it was a small explosion, and he scattered right here, inflicted 2 wounds on these guys but passed the save, and a single wound on one of the Wraith back here, and he failed his save, unfortunately. Over here, the Disintegrator Cannon and the Sheraton Cannons from the Wraith Knight managed to get shots in on the Thalax, but Josh passed some 6-up feel no pains and some armour saves as well. The only other thing that happened is Farseer has jumped sideways, and these bikers have moved up this side of the table, looking to possibly get shots in at the Warlord next turn. So that is the end of Eldar turn 1. We'll now move on to Mechanicum turn 2. Right, so the Mechanicum moving phase, the Avenger has arrived and he's looking to strip the Wraith Knight of his wounds. The Baroness spied the Wraith Knight and she's going after him. The Myrmidons have jumped out of the Land Raider and are looking probably to take down the Wraith or possibly the Wave Serpent. The Ursarax are coming in for a smash at them as well. The Land Raider, meanwhile, gets to use its Flamestorm cannon to its full effect on this nice squad of Wraiths sat there. Castellax is pulled forward and the Thalax have remained where they are. Both of the Ocularis here are pushing forward. We can't secure the objective, but they can at least deny any cover saves that are in the area. The Land Raider has pivoted and the Myrmidons have jumped out the side, probably looking to take the Warp Spiders and sacrifice their shooting to get them. Meanwhile here, the Thalax are pulled sideways, probably looking for the Venoms or the Vipers at this side. Both the Castellax here are going to be rapid firing both bolters and Darkfire cannons into the Vikers here. And this knight is probably looking for the Reavers, Reapers or Ravager. Let's see how brutal these knights are going to be in conjunction with the negative cover from the Mechanicum. Right, so the Mechanicum have retaliated and it's been brutal. These two guys managed to kill 2 of the jet bikers, and as a result Josh fired the photon thruster and lightning gun from these and took out the last biker. Down here the Myrmidons have not shot at the spiders, they're looking to hopefully get them in combat. This knight has blew up half of this flank. He managed to drop the thermal cannon straight down on the Vipers and unfortunately blew one Viper up, knocked the whole point off this one and got a weapon destroyed, blew up the Venom, and as a result the explosion from the Venom and this Viper killed 4 of the rats. These Thalax used the photon thruster, came hurtling down and blew up this Venom here, failed their invuln, and Josh managed to explode it, and as a result the racks have gotten out. This knight here decided to drop the massive pie plate on the Reapers and unfortunately scattered back onto himself, rolled a 6, glanced himself, but Josh passed his invuln as his shield is still up on the front. He then shot down at the Ravager. I elected not to jink and unfortunately didn't do any damage to him. Over this side, the twinning plasma fusel on the front of the Land Raider brought down Mortifax. He is dead. He had a 2-up cover save and unfortunately rolled a 1, so he's gone. Meanwhile on this flank, boom, a lot of Wraith have gone down. So, started with all the lightning guns here and the phase plasma fusel from the Warlord, took out 4 of them, and as a result, there was only 1 left. The Myrmidons here dropped the Graviton guns and the Volkite charges on the Wraith that were here and managed to take a couple of them out. She also shot the Volkite Chevrolet, let's say, at the Wraith Knight. She stripped a wound off him, and the deflagrate rule means that you get to do an additional wound at the same strength, and unfortunately failed both the save and feel no pain from that. The Avenger hurtled in with absolutely everything, but only the last cannon was able to do a wound. So, as a result, the Wraith Knight is down to 3 wounds. The Castellax and the Land Raider also hurtled everything down, and as you can see, there's only 2 of the Wraith Guard left with the Spirits here. They are going to be in dangerous and difficult terrain next turn. So, we're going to move on to assaults. think the Baroness is going to be charging Binky, so let's see what happens. Right, so in the assault phase, there's been a lot of assaults and jetpack moves, so we'll work all these out. The Knight this side has charged Dark Reapers. Obviously the Dark Reapers can't overwatch. There is also some Reavers there, so if he doesn't kill the Dark Reapers, I think the Reavers are going to get stomped. Over this side, the Myrmidons have charged in, despite us getting 2 hits and 2 wounds with Overwatch. Josh passed his 3-up armour and then a 5-up invuln, as I did get one of the... I rolled a 6 to wound. The Thalax here with jetpack moved sideways, looking to keep out of the way. Meanwhile, around this side, the 3 Ocularis have spread out. One of them, however, trying to get into the ruins, unfortunately failed his dangerous terrain and then failed his armour save. The Warlord is moving forward, and the Knight Baroness charged at the Wraith Knight, but unfortunately didn't quite make it over the building. So, we'll now move on to the assaults. Right, so in combat, this Knight managed to kill a single Reaper, and then Josh got 3 stomps. And the first 2 stomps killed a Reaper each, and one of the Reavers did manage to pass 2 6-up field no pains with one of them, and now his 3rd stomp rolled a 6. So bye bye Dark Reapers and Reavers. In combats over here, I forgot to mention before that this guy charged in, and obviously he's just absolutely smashed the Viper to bits. Over here, the Myrmidons charged in and managed to kill 3 of the Warp Spiders, sorry. The Lord challenged the Exarch, but the Exarch refused, and they've hit and ran out 6 inches. Obviously they automatically pass leadership tests due to the Exarch still being alive. Right, so we're just taking this moment to reflect on the armies. This is still my reserve pile. We've got both Flyers, both Raiders, Scourge, the Fire Dragons, and we've got Starbane and the Archon in their Raider as well. And there's me dead pile. 3 Vipers, 2 Venoms, what's that, 12, 13 Wraith, 9 Reavers, 6 Eldar jet bikes, Death Jester, Rax, Dark Reapers, Spiders. Meanwhile, Josh has a single Ocularis, which he killed himself, the Dominus, a Thanatar, and a Knight. Eldar need to retaliate hard, otherwise they're going to suffer a lot more casualties. So, because of my Autarch, I do get to re-roll, because of my Warlord trait, I get to re-roll my reserves, but I also get to add on -1 for the Autarch. So, let's have a look. Razorwing is in. Wraith Fighter is not in. I am actually going to re-roll that. I'm going to up that to a 3, so he's in. Both poison bolts. Do I want them in or not? You know what? Yep. I'm going to add 1 to that. I'm going to re-roll that one for a 2, and I'll add 1 because of the Autarch. Let's have a look at the Dragons. No, but I want to re-roll it, and I'm not going to use that dice. 2, I'll add 1, make a 3, and they're in. Scourge of the last ones, and they're in. So let's do all the deep strikes and everything first, and we'll come out just before we've done the rest of the movement. Right, so the Archon come flying in and decided to land himself straight here with the Fire Dragons, looking to hopefully take out the Baroness, and totally didn't even realise, despite his absolute cunning, that the Warlord has Interceptor and it confers to the entire unit. There is some Ocularis nearby, so straight away the Raider Jinkin was only on a 5-up jink, managed to save a couple of the shots from the Warlord, but as expected, the Strength 7 lightning guns from the Thalax managed to wreck the Raider. They have passed the leadership check, they're not pinned or anything, so they can still fire at full ballistic skill. And the Wraith Hemlock has come flying in, probably looking to drop the D template down on the Land Raider. The Razorwing looking to get some shots at the Myrmidons. The Scourge scattered slightly, looking to probably team up with the Reaper and the Ravager to take on these Knights. This Raider was going for the Thalax round here and the Castellax, but scattered back, and this one scattered into the terrain. So we'll move on to movement. Right, so the movement phase is getting rather hectic over this side of the board. The Wraith Knight has walked over the building looking to get a charge in on the Knight here. The Wraith Lord took a wound, unfortunately. He went through the where the Graviton landed, failed his dangerous terrain and failed his armor save. Spirit Seer is staying put, and the Farseer has pulled sideways looking to get some shots in down here. The Jet Bikers over there are looking to get some shots in at the Thalax, and over this side, Warp Spiders have stayed where they are, so they can either shoot the Myrmidons, possibly the rear armor of the Knight, and we've got the Reaper hitting the side armor and Ravager going for the front. So let's see what anybody can do. Right, so in the Psychic phase, I have 10 base dice now that the Hemlock has arrived, and the Farseer cast Guide on the Hemlock, and he also cast Doom with 2 dice on these guys. The Hemlock then casts Psychic Shriek and has hit this squad with Psychic Shriek. He's at -6 leadership due to the Armour of Misery, Mind Shock pods on the Hemlock, and -2 from the Mask of Secrets here as well. And I've just rolled that for Psychic Shriek. So how many is that? 4, 16, -4 leadership. So that's 12 wounds that Josh does get his 6 up Feel No Pain against.
Well, I only actually have 9 wounds with Feel No Pain on them. So there's 9. And I passed 1. So 1 more. No, so that's the Thalax dead, and then what's that, 1 more wound on your Warlord? 2 more left to roll with all Thalax gone.
And he's got 3 up in one, hasn't he? And he's fine. So we'll now move on to shooting. Right, so the shooting phase has been full of joy and sorrow. The Warlord is still alive. He took fire from the Serpent and the Serpent. Both of them blew the shields. The Wraith Lord, one of the Shuriken cannons on the Wraith Knight as well, and he's still on 2 hull points.
It's not a vehicle.
2 wounds even, yeah. The Wraith Fighter even managed to drop a D-Templar on the Land Raider, and 1 scattered onto the Warlord, and I rolled a 1. The Fire Dragons, 3 of them within range, shot down at the back of the Knight, and Josh passed his 3 up Invun due to her being the Baroness, so she's still alive. This is not what I want, right here. The Bikers over there have shot through at the Thalax and stripped the nearest one down to 1 wound left. So, over this side, we thought, right, disintegrate cannons and 2 strength 6 shred missiles at the Myrmidons. The missiles scattered wildly, and I managed to strip 3 wounds altogether from the entire squad with the disintegrator cannons. And with what was left, the disintegrator cannon shot from there, took another wound, and the Warp Spider Exarch managed to bring the Lord down himself. In the shooting phase with this Raider, they unloaded everything into the Thalax and only caused 2 wounds. This Raider was just within 24 inches of this Castellax. Now obviously Castellax, you have to re-roll poison wounds against them, and I only got 2 wounds out of 15 shots. But Josh did fail 2 of his saves, so this Castellax is on 1 wound. The disintegrate cannon failed to do anything though. Over here, this Knight has been brought down. The 3 Dart Lancers went straight through. 2 of them bounced off his shield, and 1 went through and stripped him of a hull point. The Reaper used its targeted beam, managed to get a direct hit, but only managed to score 1 haywire shot against it. He was then left with 3 hull points, and the Scourge got 3 hits and managed to get 3 more glances on the Knight. As a result, he did explode, but it was a massive explosion. It was titanic and brought down one of the Warp Spiders. Obviously he automatically passes his morale as he's the Exarch. We did lose the Shard Carbine from the Scourge. These guys in here were hit by the outer ring and the middle ring. The middle ones hit the first 3 and they passed their 4 cover and the strength 10 blast, and the 2 on the back were hit by the strength 5 and passed their feel no pain. This guy was hit by the strength 10, thought nope, might as well remove him. Josh rolled a 1. And the strength 5 outer ring managed to get a single glance on the Reaper. So that was pretty much it for the shooting. We've got an assault to make though. Right, so in combat, the Wraith Knight charged in. I was tempted to charge the Lord in as well, and I decided not to in case I did bring the Baroness down. So I rolled a hit, and I rolled 3 1s and 2 2s. Mastercraft had got me 1 hit, and I managed to strip 3 hull points with D3. Josh then rolled a hit and got 2 hits, and he's just rolled a 1 and a 6. So, bye bye Binky. Right, so Mechanicum turn 3. This Castellax is 13 inches away from the Raider up here, so Josh has free reign of it. However, this Castellax wasn't, so he's had to move straight towards it. Thalax, probably looking to maybe charge the Spider Exarch that's standing by himself. The Knight on this side, looking probably to take out the anti-tank that's over here. Ursarax have jumped through the building, did take a wound unfortunately due to dangerous terrain, probably going to take out this Serpent. And the Baroness, she's coming for this Serpent here as well. The Avenger, we placed it there as the base is a bit wobbly, so he's probably going to look to shoot at the Hemlock. The Hemlock's going to be at -2 cover due to the 2 Ocularis, which means because I got shrouding on myself last turn, I still get a 4 jink. The Warlord and the Castellax are looking to probably go after the Fire Dragons, the Archon and Starbane, and there's a nasty Flamestorm cannon there. The Myrmidons have decided to stay where they are, probably looking to get rid of the Raider and the Shadow Seer in here. And the Thalax at this side as well, looking to probably help support take out this squad here. So, let's see what damage Josh can do in the shooting phase. Right, so the Mechanicum shooting phase, they again have retaliated with brute force. The Castellax that was here decided to level his Darkfire cannon at this Raider, and I managed to blow himself up. He did get 1 shot in, but failed to go through the Night Shields of the Raider. The Raider here took fire from this Castellax, but again, the pilot managed to jink everything. Down here, the Knight managed to strip a hull point from the Ravager, and the large blast lightning gun managed to get a pen on the Reaper. I elected not to jink in the hopes that he wouldn't go through, but unfortunately he did get a pen, and I'm now snap shooting. Over this side, the Archon has been brought down. The Dragons looked out to say almost everything. The Warlord shot the Volkite, the Flamestorm cannon and the Phase Plasma Fusel from the Land Raider, and the Castellax unloaded everything. The Shadow Field held out for a long time against all the fire, but unfortunately couldn't withstand the weight of firepower, so those guys are going to need a leadership check to see if the Fire Dragon Exarch and Starbane run. There was also fire coming in from the Thalax here. Alright, the Baroness decided to shoot the massive gun down at the Wraith Lord and tore the Wraith Lord in half. It was brought down, so she decided to shoot the Graviton gun at this Wave Serpent, but unfortunately scattered wildly. The 2 Myrmidons unloaded both their Gravitons each into the Raider here with the Shadow Seer in. She jinked all over the place and stopped every wound going through. Meanwhile, the Avenger absolutely tore through the Hemlock. The Hemlock is at -2 cover due to the Ocularis here, and the last cannon brought it down. It didn't scatter and didn't do any damage. So we're now going to move on to the assault phase, and I think I'm probably going to lose a lot. Let's see what happens. Right, so in the assault phase, as expected, this Knight managed to trample all over the Ravager, actually blew him up with Hammer of Wrath. Over here, Thalax failed the charge against the Warp Spider Exarch, and Warp Spider Exarch didn't get any wounds in, unfortunately. Down here, however, Castellax had to charge at the Raider, and the Raider's crew managed to get a single wound in on Overwatch. Down here, Ursarax, as expected, strength 10 with the power fists, smashed the Wave Serpent to bits, and the Knight charged in here, and again destroyed this Wave Serpent with Hammer of Wrath. Combat's down here. The Warlord charged in and challenged Starbane. He managed to get 4 wounds back in on him, but unfortunately he passed all of his saves. The Castellax then came in and smushed the Fire Dragon Exarch, busted morale, and he's running. He did take a wound though to the Paragon Blade. So, let's move on to Eldar, turn 3. Right, so things are looking grim for the Eldar. Starbane has seen the relic out the corner of his eye while he was running. He's rallied and he's heading for it. The Shadow Seer and the Solitaire have both moved forward. The Solitaire's blitzed. He has the Warlord in his eyes. The Farseer and the Spirit Seer with the remaining 2 Wraith Guard have pulled forward, hopefully to do some damage down this way. And the Jet Bikes have taken an opportunity to come forward and try and bring down this squad of Thalax. Over this side, the Snapshooting Reaper is going to try his luck, see if he can maybe hit the Knight. The Raider here has moved forward 12 inches, hoping to take out the Thalax here. And this guy is now immobilised, so they're going to have to take out that Castellax down there if they want to survive, or see how the Razorwing does. The Lonely Rack has moved 6 inches through cover. Again, he's also heading for the objective, as well as the Warp Spider Exarch. So, let's see what we can do in the Psychic phase. Right, so in the Psychic phase, the Spirit Seer trying to cast Protect Jink on the Warlord. Unfortunately, didn't get it off on 3 dice. The Farseer decided to go for the massive Eldritch Storm. He rolled 2 successes, re-rolled the 3 that he failed on, and did Peril, but he passed his leadership. He suffered a wound, but negated it with a Warp Charge, and as a result he used his last Warp Charge to cast Guide on these, which Josh managed to stop. So the Eldritch Storm went off, got a direct hit on top of the Warlord, caused a single wound on each of the Thalax, wounded the Castellax, but passed his invuln, didn't wound the Warlord, didn't get a Haywire against the Land Raider. I rolled a 1, but I did kill the Ocularis as well. So we'll move on to shooting phase and see if we can actually cause any more damage. Right, so in the shooting phase, we unloaded both Fleshbane missiles and the disintegrated cannons down at the Castellax, and only managed to take a single wound off him. He's on 1 wound. Meanwhile, the rapid fire, splinter fire from this Raider managed to bring down the Thalax that were here. As a result, this Raider's flat outed, needing to get into the centre. The Warp Spider managed to take down one of the Ocularis, and the Rack is also running for the centre as well. The Reaper took a snapshot at these guys here and unfortunately missed. The Shadow Seer shot the Neuro Disruptor at the Warlord and managed to get a single wound on him. Starbane has ran into the ruins, as has the Jet Bikes with the Farseer and the Warlock on. Shuriken cannons from the Bikers here managed to bring the Thalax on this flank down as well. So we're going to go into the assaults. We've got 3 charges we're going to make. The Wraith Axes are going to charge at the Myrmidons. Solitaire is going to be charging at the Warlord, and the Bikes are going to be doing an assault jump out the way. Right, so in the assault phase, the Solitaire was an absolute blur and ran straight through the Warlord and has backpedaled, looking to get into the ruins. He's looking to try and grab the objective. So we'll now move into right. So in the rest of the assault phase, the Wraith Guard charged at the Myrmidons and rolled a 3, so they didn't make it in, and the Bikers jetpacked out the way. So we'll now go on to Mechanicum, turn 3. Right, so Mechanicum turn 4 movement phase. Castellax is looking to go for the Bikers over here. The Myrmidons are staying where they are, probably looking to drop the templates on these guys, and then the Knight might take them, or possibly the Shadow Seer. The Ursarax have jumped in there and surrounded Starbane. I think he might go down. The Avenger, as you can see, is pulled sideways, looking to probably shoot down this Raider with the firepower from this Land Raider as well. Castellax at the side has to move towards the Raider, and this knight is looking to stamp all over the Reaper before he gets another shot in. Right, so the shooting phase, the Mechanicum starting to round up the remaining Eldar. The Castellax here managed to take down 2 of the bikes, but he liked it a jink, and one of them is left. He has passed his morale check. Meanwhile, down here, the Raider has taken a single glance as a result of fire from the Myrmidons here. One of the Templars did scatter onto the Baroness, but she rolled a 1 against her armor, so nothing was done. The Flamestorm Cannon from the Land Raider managed to kill the Warp Spider Exarch and the Warlock. Farseer, however, passed his in run. Down here, the Ursarax used their beam weapon and went straight through Starbane 6 times, 3 wounds, and he passed all of his saves. 2 of them clipped the the Solitaire, and 2 of them clipped the Raider, and no damage was done to either of them. Down here, the Baroness unloaded everything down at the remaining Wraithguard and Spirit Seer, and they were brought down. Over this side, this knight decided to shoot its lightning cannon at the Reaper, and it scattered back and did hit him, but didn't get any glances or anything on him. He then used the plasma fusel on the top and killed the lonely rack that was here. The Avenger managed to blow up the Raider that was here, and then the quad bolters and the plasma fusel from the Land Raider absolutely smashed all 10 of the warriors apart. The Castellax managed to blow up the Raider here, and the warriors are out, and they're looking to get charged by the Castellax. Let's see what happens in the assault phase. Right, so the Castellax made it in combat. We didn't strip that wound off him to Overwatch, unfortunately, and he did smash 3 of them into the ground, and they passed the morale check when I didn't want them to. The knight here stood all over the Reaper with Hammer of Wrath, and as expected, this knight stood all over this Raider with Hammer of Wrath as well. So Karlia is hiding in the ruins. He jumped out just as the Hammer of Wrath came in. The Ursarax charged in at Starbane and pummeled him with the power fists. The Farseer is also standing still, but there's not much hope for capturing the objective. So the Eldar are going to pull a retreat and try and regroup and see what the Magus has planned for the Imperium. So that's the end of the battle, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please stay tuned, and we hope to expand the story about what happens